Think back to when you were in high school. Were you required to take foreign language classes? If so, are you now fluent in those languages? What if I told you there were language immersion schools such as Waddell Language Academy, who incorporates languages such as German, French, Chinese, and Japanese, and Oakland, who incorporates Spanish into their students' curriculum, who at the age of 7 are at a higher foreign language education level than a first-year high school student. My name is Kirsten R and today I'll be talking to you about children's early exposure to foreign language. My thesis is early exposure to foreign language is beneficial to American society because it helps with the development of cognitive skills, gives children a competitive advantage in the workplace, and expands cultural awareness. Language is a huge contributor to the daily function of the world because it is its primary mode of communication. English is the leading language in the United States, but foreign languages are continually emerging as means of communication. In the 2013 Census Bureau American Community Survey, 62 million people 5 years and older speak a foreign language. 44% of this 62 million are not native to the language. This shows that you do not have to be native to the language to learn and grasp the concept. Knowing multiple languages helps with the development of cognitive skills. Studies have shown that children who speak multiple languages score higher on cognitive tests than those who are monolinguals. Being multilingual means that the brain is at competition to be heard with multiple languages. Therefore, multilinguals tend to have a higher balance of executive functions. Executive functions such as self-control, memory, and mental flexibility are strengthened in everyday life and enhance cognitive skills such as reading, thinking, reasoning, and problem solving. Because of their fortified cognitive skills, multilinguals are better able to complete tasks that deal with focusing and multitasking. The strengthening of cognitive skills also correlates with academic achievement. In the 2007 University Study of Maine publication, researchers showed that foreign language education helps with standardized test scores, ACT and SAT scores. Studies like these have been done all across the nation and shows that regardless of race or sex, foreign language education helps with academic achievement. Additionally, children who speak multiple languages have more gray matter in their prefrontal cortex, which deals with vocabulary acquisition. This means that multilinguals tend to have a broader vocabulary and are better communicators. Lastly, research has shown that the brain is at its highest peak of absorbing information during a child's primary years. By the age of 5, the structures of the brain deal with learning and memory. This shows that a child's mind is fit to learn a language and should do so while the brain is still developing. Being able to speak multiple languages helps children to be competitive in the workplace. Speaking multiple languages aids individuals further in life, especially in one's career. Being able to speak multiple languages gives you many options in the type of job that you would like. Multilinguals stand out to many companies because they act as bridges to those who are global, whether that's your partners or competitors. Not only do they have the skills to correspond with those globally, but they also have the skills to work internationally. Being able to speak this language helps international companies because you're able to better complete the task by knowing the language and being comfortable in your work environment. Multilinguals also are appreciated in the work environment because they make customers feel comfortable. If you do not speak the native language such as English and you speak Spanish or German or French, customers are better able to relate to you and feel more comfortable communicating with you, which builds the brand of a company and the relationship you have with your customers. Market for multilinguals have expanded throughout the years, and just in the United States alone, international trade has over 40 million jobs available. Also, Ryan McMahon, CEO, BRIC language expert, says that if you speak multiple languages, you earn about 15% more money than those who do not speak a foreign language. So for an example, an emergency medical technician makes around $30,000 a year. If you speak multiple languages, you earn about $40,000 a year. In this graph, it shows that as you can see here, it shows that multilinguals and bilinguals are spread out all over the corporate America. It shows that lowest prestige and highest prestige has multiple bilingual workers, meaning that you can be executive or a cashier. It shows that multilinguals are not limited to the type of jobs they can be part of. Multilinguals also help with cultural awareness. Those who are fluent in more than one language tend to be more well-rounded individuals in society. When you learn a foreign language, you not only learn the language, but you learn the culture, traditions of the people who speak that language. This allows you to become more culturally enriched. Becoming more culturally enriched allows you to have a new perspective on life, and you get to develop deeper feelings in a relationship with those who are different from you. Children who are not always exposed to different ethnic groups grow up to be closed-minded. So if we expose them to early languages and traditions and customs of those who are different, then they'll grow up to be open-minded. Language not only allows you to be culturally enriched, but enables you to be able to travel the world without any barriers, without any language barriers, cultural barriers, or anything like that. There are over 6,000 languages spoken globally, so I feel that everyone should be able to pick up at least one of those languages. So for my service and product, I did a lot of research on the different tools students, parents, or teachers use to teach children foreign language, and I came across children's books, so I feel like that's extremely interactive and fun for little kids, so that's what I decided to create. So I'm going to walk you through what I did. So first I decided to do a Get Ready With Me book, so I decided to list all the different things that you do, get ready, and I translated it to French. And the next I put them all into sentences and in my computer, and I also chose the pictures that I would use for my book. Next I decided to print out a book outline, and I wrote down the sentences and the pictures. This is the final result. And next I translate all that to a PowerPoint where I decided to pick the background, the font, the pictures, and I put it all together to see how it would look in the book format. Next I went to Kinko's, and there I had to talk with the lady how the book was going to lay out, what it was going to look like, the type of pages, and the type of material I was going to use. And this is my final result. For my service, I decided to go to Waddell Language Academy. Sorry. And I spoke with the French kindergarten class, and I talked with Miss Ayo. I got to read my book to the kids and interact with them, and I actually got to teach them some phrases and some words, and they showed me some words and phrases that they knew. So here are just some pictures of me. They're raising their hands, interacting with me. I also allowed Mr. Hayner to bring my book home, and he got to read it to his daughter, Charlie. And the biggest takeaway I got from my service was just seeing the kids interact at such a young age. They were speaking French, and it was just amazing just to see that, and I think that all kids should be exposed to that. Thank you. What questions do you have? Yes.
Do you think like the kids would like be stressed for like trying to learn a secondary language?
I don't think the kids would be stressed, because based off the research that I did, it just shows that at a younger age, your brain is able to develop and take all that in, because as you're learning and you're growing up, it's like you learn English, and that just came naturally. So when you add in at such a young age another language, it kind of helps. And at a language immersion schools, they incorporate both. So as you learn hello, you also learn it in French. So it's not like it's necessarily competing against each other, it's just learning as you grow older. Yes.
What changes would you advocate for in your topic? Like if all schools were to follow this, how would you provide solutions?
Like meaning, like what would I do to try to make this happen? So I feel that people can just incorporate, eventually language immersion schools should exist everywhere, but that's not going to happen straight away. So I feel like just now in kindergarten and in elementary school, they should incorporate either a class or class into their curriculum where they can learn another language. So that can like start off, and then eventually all schools will be language immersion schools.
Kirsten, what advice would you have for seniors just starting their senior exit project?
I feel that students who are just starting the senior exit project, not to procrastinate. Make sure you have what you're going to have for your product and service and get that done, and just to practice.